I do a lot of realistic oil paintings and just started trying to sell. I don't really have a brand or target market. How do I know who that would be? Okay, Deborah, I talked about this a lot. I would pretty much listen to everything that I talked about before this, if you haven't already, because it's all the same, right? You need to know who your customer is, who's signing up for your email list. If you have sold nothing yet at all, nothing, then I would recommend getting out in person right away. Like, that's what you got to do. Getting out in person to me is by far the easiest way, the fastest way to get real answers and to understand what you need to do for your business. You could spend 5 years trying to sit behind a computer and figure stuff out, and you can get answers in one day. Like, you literally, like, you know, let me just show you. Like, let me look at your work here for a second and just see what pops in my head if I were an entrepreneur starting your business right now. Okay, you got some landscapes, buildings, you got a church here, still life. You need to have a bestsellers category. Well, I guess you don't have that yet, but as soon as you sell one, that's your bestseller. Let me look at these landscapes. I'm assuming because it's on the left that you get the most attention for those. Or you know what you could do is, instead of bestsellers, you could say most popular based on feedback you've gotten from people. Okay, these are really nice. Yeah, so I mean, I'm guessing these are images of somewhere where you live. Oh, here you go. From around the Georgia area and more. Okay, love it. Love it. Okay. So you got to get out there. It's almost springtime here. You got to get out there and look for art fairs and shows in your area and around Georgia. Try to talk to some other artists if you can to find out which are the best ones. You might want to make a post in the Small Wins group here and ask the other artists and photographers. I've seen a lot of good feedback on how to find the best shows and things like that have come through. But you're in Georgia. I'm assuming you still live there, and you're painting Georgia, but that's your target market. I mean, that is your customer base. They're going to be people who live in Georgia, who used to live in Georgia. Maybe they live in California now, but they lived in Georgia. They grew up in Georgia. They got married in Georgia. They had some sort of an emotional, connecting event to Georgia and these areas specifically that you're talking about. Like, the closer that you can get to these areas that you've painted, the better, right? So if there's a show close to these areas, the chances of you, being in that getting customers in that target market are very high. I knew a photographer here in Austin, and he would do the art fairs, and he had photographs of Austin, all these different landmarks and landscapes of the city of Austin and the surrounding area, and then he had ones of New Orleans, right? And then he had other ones from around the country. And he asked me, he's like, Nick, I do these art fairs, in Austin, and everybody only buys my Austin work and sometimes my Louisiana doors. And I said, why is that a surprise? And he's like, well, I just want to sell you other stuff. And I'm like, why? Why even waste your time? Just shoot more Austin stuff and shoot more Louisiana stuff, right? Like, Louisiana neighbors Texas, right? So it's likely, and I personally know a lot of people from Louisiana that live here, actually, from New Orleans or around the general area, and so it makes sense that you might find some people here that will buy those. And then in Austin, surprise, surprise, that's where the customers are. So that's your target market. Yours is actually very easy to find. So the easiest way to actually get your whole thing started is to get out to those shows. You got to follow the art fair playbook that we have. Absolutely mandatory, okay? Because there's a lot of stuff in there that will allow you to execute on the art fair the right way. Most importantly, you got to make sure that you have an email list there, and you run the contest, and you do everything that we say in there. I won't go into all the details. It's all in there, but read it over really good, and make sure you execute that way, because what will happen is you will get some sales more than likely. You will start getting a lot of emails, and those emails are like seeds, right? They're the most important thing that you can get, right? They're seeds that you will take and you will import them back into Art Storefronts, which will sync to your MailChimp account, all right? You'll start sending out emails to those people right after the show. We have the overtime playbook to try to get a last couple final sales from them, which works. All right, you'll get some more sales after the show from people that you never even met who dropped a business card in your fishbowl or signed up for your email list. But most importantly, when you send out emails to these people, it drives more traffic to your website, right? So you're taking these offline people and you're now connecting them online to your art gallery. That is so critical. It's the most important piece that a lot of people miss that do shows for so many years, right? You got to get from the offline to the online, okay? And so when you send these emails, some of these people will forward those emails to other people that they know that have an emotional connection to this area. In addition to that, you can send out an email from time to time that drives people to your social media pages, like your Facebook profile or your Instagram profile. A great way to do that is by running a contest. We have a contest playbook. Follow the contest playbook to do that, right? So now you're taking people from your email list and you're getting them into your social media profile and you're getting them to like and share your page, right? So now you've got their email and you've got them on social media. So going forward, as you do more romance marketing, you'll send emails and you will do romance posts, and the likelihood that you're going to get in front of them and get their attention is very high. That's the name of the game, right? And so you can see now those emails, those emails that come on that list are seeds, right? They're seeds to get more sales, and they're even more importantly, they're seeds to grow your audience further through sharing emails, forwarding emails, and sharing your posts. And that's why I'm such a huge fan of, getting out in person. It doesn't matter where you are. I don't care if it's a show. I don't care if, there's a restaurant, in a little shopping center. Talk to them, that gets a lot of people that might be your customers. Talk to them, give them a free piece of art, ask them if you can set up a booth in front, and paint their restaurant. I don't care, right? But find a way to get emails every single day, of your business, and your business will do extremely well. Just nothing more important than that.